My first day at Digstock 3 in North Carolina, I detected what I would later call the field of lost love. These are my stories from the signal. Day 1 of detecting at Digstock in North Carolina, I would start by detecting a field with my friends that was at one point part of a plantation. The field we were in was across the street from the plantation house. Up a hill and toward the back of this field was a family graveyard. In the later part of the morning, my friend Sue got an amazing find, this wedding band. I believe it is brass, and talking it over with people at the event, most likely from the 1800s, perhaps a bit earlier. Now, it's possible it was a slave's wedding band since this was found on a plantation, but more than likely a slave wouldn't have had a brass band. It could have belonged to someone in the family that owned the plantation, or someone paid to work on the farm. There is no way to truly know. Now, the most likely scenario is that it was lost while doing work. Any number of activities from working the field by hand or moving livestock around on a hot, sweaty day certainly could have resulted in the loss of this ring. Or a darker and less likely scenario, maybe the owner of this ring lost their partner and upon visiting the grave decided to throw the ring out into the field out of grief for their lost love. Earlier that morning, while detecting, I spotted this paper on the ground. It was partially wet with the dew of the morning, and some of the ink was smudged. I was simply picking it up to collect it as trash, a service I routinely do while detecting. Upon closer examination, I realized this was a love letter. The date is smudged, but I think this was written 3 days prior to me finding it. The word choice, style of writing, hearts above the eyes, and overall message contained in the letter makes me believe this was written by a young lady, probably someone in high school. It's a little surprising to find this. Way back when I was in high school, passing notes in the hallways was a necessity. You couldn't send text messages and images back and forth like you can today. There is no indication of who wrote this other than a first name, and no indication of the recipient other than my love and hey babe. Like all my finds, I'm left wondering why this was lost. I can only imagine it got carried away by the wind, either out of a bus or car window, or just straight out of someone's hands. I wonder, did this ever get to the intended recipient? Did the author have a change of heart for some reason? Or did it make its way to the recipient, and they were the ones who lost it? Was it intentional? I'll probably never know. It's interesting how the theme of love over the centuries has surfaced on this one day in this one field. The love one has to respect a family member and provide a marker for their life. The lost one feels putting a loved one to rest. The symbolism behind a ring bonding two people together. The dread of knowing that symbol is lost even if the love is still strong. The words put to paper, trying to define the love felt within. Some words faded after the slightest amount of time in a field. The fate of those at the top of the hill, and most certainly the owner of the lost ring, has been locked in, already in the past. As for our young love-struck lady, what is her fate? Did the lost letter indicate an end, or will this love continue on?